Haven't you had enough of this? Hello, welcome to Whale the Oar, Dick Moby, episode 6, in which I will continue to unread the great American novel of 1851, Herman Melville's Moby Dick, the worst book I've ever read, the only book that I would like to unread, if I could. Which I can, and I will. Last time we reached this, he would have shot me once if you were reading it forward, but we're not. Once me shot, have would he, murmured he. This is in chapter 126, is it? I think, something like that. Sounds like we're making great progress, but we're not, because we're going backwards. So... actually, we've barely scratched the surface. We are on a sperm count of 3. 3 sperm. Disappointingly, we haven't had any sperm at all in the last 2 episodes of this. I'm getting concerned whether there is going to be a surfeit of sperm in chapter 32, and we have to wait all that time. There are 271, I believe, individual instances of the word sperm appearing in Moby Dick. So I'm using this as a kind of percentage counter, progress bar, a bucket of sperm which will be filled over time until it is brim full and we can finish. We can stop the incredible climax of this book, which will be, well, we all know how this is going to end, right? Everybody knows the last 3 words of Dick Moby as you read it backwards. But, you know, let's crack on. I've got a glass of wine for a change. I'm drinking red wine. Shall we begin? It's touch and go, isn't it? Let's begin. Itself for it knew hardly he instant the for that accompaniments good or neutral, it's with blent. Blent's not a word, is it? But with blent so but. Thought evil and evolved strangely there. Muskets the saw he, when instant that at heart Starbucks of out but man upright honest and was Starbuck. Bulkhead forward, the against upright stood they as, revealed shiningly were rack the in muskets loaded the. Elements that of the of oh, you heard my historical Stoke-on-Trent accent come out there. I almost said the word elements. Elements of elephants that of roar the all by round hooped was it though. There reigned to silence humming certain, a made cabin that of subterraneousness isolated the. Panels upper of place in, inserted blinds fixed with, one thin door bolted man's old the upon shadows fitful casting and fitfully burning was, that and way this swings long taking. Lamp cabin the, moment at it before paused involuntarily he, stateroom his at knocking air. Just give me a second. I'm going to bring the Twitch chat up on my computer in the background. I know that's irrelevant to you if you're watching this after the fact on YouTube, which I would recommend you do. But I'm going to bring the Twitch chat up as well. So anybody who is watching this live as it goes out can, you know, feel free to post comments in the chat, and I will ignore them as we continue to read. Circumstance that of Ahab captain a prize to below went mechanically he then, gloomily and reluctantly however, breeze the 2 yards the trimmed sooner no had Starbuck, deck the of affairs that in change decided any hours 24 that of one any at hand, immediately report to commander his of order standing the with compliance in. It preceding portents evil the falsified have soon so should event and promising so that joy for singing crew the men cheerly oh ye oh oh ye ho oh ye ho win further ho of song lively the two. Squared were yards that instantly. Fair became fair became breeze foul the. Aye, a stern round coming seemed wind the. Sign good at. Lo, meanwhile. This isn't even dialogue. What's all these exclamations and lo? Just write normal. Herman. Sign good at. Lo, meanwhile, compass the watching. Possible as course her near as ship the bringing now was he as but. Vicissitudes its to according steered only had he. Gale that of violence the during fore. Helmsman the to given more once was practicable if. Steer to was he which. East southeast. Present the fore. Course the and. Again precision. Some with water the through went soon ship the that so. Aft further set was storm trysail. I'm going to say trysail. This is an ongoing battle between me and nautical terminology. Storm trysail and reefed and bent now were sails new corresponding threether. Wing the on is bird storm tossed that when winds the to cast are sometimes which albatross and of feathers the like. Leeward to away eddying went and sparse the from adrift cut were main topsails and fore and jib the of remnants shivered the. Aft other the and forward engaged one stub and starbuck of exertion strenuous the through that much so abated typhoon the midnight after hours some. Sorry about all the giggling, but look out, I thought we were on chapter 126. We're actually on chapter 123. Wow, well, making more progress than I thought. What I would like to see is a load of sperm in this episode. Sperm all over the place. And then we can tick off that particular milestone. Get ourselves off the... We've had a drought of sperm. Where was I? Oh, yes, at midnight after hours. Some emotion. Yeah, it takes me a few paragraphs to get into the swing of it. That's why there's always a bit of early giggling just through the ridiculousness of what I'm doing. I think by the end of this chapter, obviously I'll be doing this entirely in an entirely serious way as a commentary on American literature. This is my first glass of wine. It's not. Emotion unwanted of sort some without behold can anyone hardly that sight is it. Cards the upon revolved they which with velocity whirling the notice to failed not had helmsman the shock every almost at. Pequods the with thus was it round and round go intervals at compasses that in needles the sea to uncommon means no by is it. Blast the to shuttlecock tossed. Yes, shuttlecock tossed but is ship the while. This like gales severe at in. Indispensable was tiller the to play some because slack were they for it to attached bean had tackles preventer though even motion spasmodic its by deck the to hurled reelingly been times several had tiller jawbone pequods that at man the typhoon that of shocks violent most the during musket the 123 chapter. Excellent, that's it for tonight. Oh, look at chapter 122. It almost wasn't worth writing, was it, Herman? 10 minutes. Yes, well, let's continue. We've got at least another rest of my life to do the rest of this. Rum of glass at us give. Rum want we. Thunder want don't we. Thunder of use the whats? Hear up thunder much too plenty. Thunder that stop. It around lashings new past Tashtego, yard main topsail there. Lightning and thunder, aloft midnight, 122 chapter. Seriously, Herman, what was the point in that? That's just wasted a minute of my life. What have we learned from that? Tashtego's awake. There's a bit of thunder around. Okay, kind of, I guess if you've read this forwards, by that point you're willing to forgive anything. But not me. This is serious. You can't write a chapter like that. That's not a chapter, so it's a paragraph. Insane. Great American novel. Lad, night nasty is this. Unmannerly so be should heaven from come that wins that Lord, overboard tarpaulin my goes there. Phew, halloa! So beaver, a down drive and swallowtail amount must I. Me for tarpaulins and monkey jackets no more no. Flask, eave troughs, gable end form cocks the, hats cocked with same. GC, water that of off carry to serve, way that down tapering tails the afloats. This is ridiculous. Afloat storms all in worn be to always ought coat-tailed longer. Me to seems but flask, so long togs at laugh they. Ye thank. Ye will. Skirts jacket my outring just say I. Satisfactory most that is deck on lighting. Oh, I thought it was lightning. Okay, lighting. Land touching to next, so maybe that's a misprint. Maybe he meant lightning. I don't know, it's impossible to say, isn't it? None of this makes any sense. Forwards or backwards. So, done weave and, down not that hammer there, though cable long uncommon and with swings she, is she if anywhere anchored is world the weather, flask wonder I. Two have they hold a what? Hey, fists iron your are these? Sure be two are they hands generous, what big what and. Him behind hands, man's a tying like seams flask, anchors to these tying. Again used be to going, never were they if as now anchors these down lashing are we meter seams. It pass and there turn the catch, mind never. Spray this with drenched about am I and factor that's sensible be to hard it's through soaked fellows are when yes. Hard rather it find sometimes you stub that no don't I. Sensible be can I and half with man any. Then ye don't why. Sensible be to easy it's flask. Sensible be ye don't why. Sash this like behind trailing and feather skewered officers militia alike. Hat his of corn. Still going on about his hat. This is now the third chapter on the trot that's been going on about this guy's hat. It must have been a damn good hat. Hat his of corner the uprunning lightning rod small, with about go world that in man every have would you suppose I. You, king post you, why? Seize the sailing now ships 1,010 in crews that all than opinion poor my in, then danger more no in were. Us of all and man I, Ahab and rods carries 100 in ship one not. Then about talking you are what? Struck first is mast that unless rod that of holder that to come can harm no that. Timberhead you see you don't. Storm in all at lightning rod any got hasn't that mast by close standing and storm the in lightning rod masts are holding between difference mighty the what's? God, it's a very long question to have to try to phrase it as a question backwards. I doubt I could read that forwards, to be honest. Though I have, but in my head, I didn't read it aloud. I was on a bus. It would have been a bit uncomfortable to read it aloud. Not now. I mean, the buses... Well, I don't know if the buses are empty. Are the buses empty now? With everybody staying at home? I guess there's still people who have to use buses to get to work. Key workers and stuff, right? So are the bus drivers key workers? What about the people who keep the buses running? What about the people in the petrol station who feed the buses? Do buses feed? I guess you just see them grazing. Where was I? Mighty the Watts. I've lost my place now. What's, listen now, was I here? Mighty the Watts. Difference, solid mast lightning rod between difference. Yes, Mighty the Watts? It was a question, wasn't it? Listen now, rope the pass can I sew, though here anchor that have crowned the from off leg your take first. Thing other the ye answer I'll and again hark but flask hydrants are here. Guarantees extra have companies insurance marine their risks extra these for that then see you don't. Collar coach you're at pitchers fill might flask water bearer the or Aquarius you're yourself shake. Now a fire get couldn't you but hair red pretty have you hair red pretty have you apropos of nothing man little my why here spray drenching this in a fire get lucifers the could devil the how forward lucifers and aft barrels powder with loaded are we supposing besides mind my not why time that since flesh my changed part I've then what did I suppose well so say you didn't even so say you didn't I'll start that again so say you didn't now stop forward lucifers of boxes and aft barrels powder with loaded were it those just policy insurance it's on extra something pay should ship that in sales Ahab ship whatever that say once you didn't contrary very the said you since it is ago long how and saying now just were you what me into pound never will you but please you as much as there not that pound may you stub no hanging their anchors the overlashings additional passing and them on mounted flask and stub bullocks forecastle the midnight 121 chapter. Excellent. It's nice to have, the terms and details laid out there as to the Pequod's insurance policy, since they are, well, the boat has only just been made by Moby Dick. Moby Dick's a whale, by the way. I don't know if you've picked that up from the context of what we're reading. I should probably fill you in on the story so far, such as it is. There's a whale, a super intelligent whale, that constructed a boat from driftwood, reanimated a crew for the boat from odd body parts dredged up from the deeps, and then it sent them on their way back to Nantucket. I say back to Nantucket. To Nantucket. They haven't been there yet, I guess. But the whale has impressed on them the importance of making it to Nantucket. However, the whale had some harpoons stuck in him, apparently without cause. But he said, "Why don't you take these harpoons?" So they sucked the harpoons back out of the whale, and then they loaded their muskets with bullets that again the whale produced by spitting them out of these open wounds that it had inexplicably developed in its blubbery skin. And that's where we find us now. The last 3 chapters have been basically about hats, a bellboy, and an insurance policy, which I believe, if I remember from reading this forwards, the bulk of the book is about insurance policies, bellboys and hats. At least chapters 12 to 115 or so speak of little else, as we shall soon unfind out. Medicine take, oh! Malady noisy at is colic that no not I did, sublime for it take e'en would I. There aloft, hooroosh! A what? What? What is a hooroosh? There aloft, hooroosh! A what? Time tempest in brain trucks, there down send cowards, but none. Oh, is this a time travelling ship? Is a hooroosh? Maybe a hooroosh is like a vortex of time into which brain trucks must be deposited. Send cowards, but none. Oh, that strike I shall. Clouds scud thee amid sails now mine of brain truck this hand. Winds wildest foremade were trucks loftiest. Gluepots, ho! Yard main topsail, my down send. Smack coasting some of skipper hunchback the for me takes he. Keels and masts by it to sea and quick. Yet table lands my to up got not has it but. Rises wind there, everything lash but. Nothing stir and nothing strike. Inboard them get I shall. Sir, working our anchors there. Well, sir? Name God's in, sir! Now up them sway-eyed. Pole skysail had I if. Skysail? Did I say that before? Let's go for skysail. Pole skysail had I if. It lash, nothing strike. Sir, it strike I shall. Half stranded is lift leather and loose working is band there. Sir, yard main topsail the down send must we. Him approaching Starbuck, helm the bystanding Ahab. Watch night first the of end the towards deck the 120 chapter. God, the title of that chapter is practically as long as the next chapter. I think by about the mid-60s in chapters, the chapter titles are going to be the bulk of the work. At this rate, I've been doing a lot of data analysis this week. I've been looking at charts of how we're all going to die, charts of how civilization is collapsing around our ears, and all I can do is read some shit backwards. That's my contribution. And draw sperms. Everyone should be drawing sperms. You can download this and colour it in. You can't, but hey, maybe you can. Email me if you want a copy. You can colour it in. Be better than some of the artwork you've sent me so far. You've sent me no artwork. I did have that one with the ghost. That was good. Oh, 23 minutes in. I have to keep track of the time, else I would go insane. Dismay of terror at in him from runded mariners that of many Ahabs of words last those at so. Thunderbolts for Mark. Oh, Mark will be happy. More the much so because unsafe more the much so it render but strength and height very whose. Elm gigantic. Lone some of neighbourhood the fly men. Plain the sweeps that hurricane the in as. Flame the extinguished he breath his of blast one with and. Fear last the outblow I thus. Here ye look. Beats heart this tune what to know may he that hand. Bound is Ahab old. Life and lungs, body and soul, heart and. Mine as binding as our whale white, the hunter oaths your all. Spoke again Ahab and, dismay in back fell Menther. Held he that dart fiery, the from shrinking more still, and aspect his by petrified. End ropes are loose cast, but that sailor first, that it with transfixed to swearing. Them upon torch alike it waved Ahab, harpoon burning the snatching and, deck the two links lightning rattling the dashing butt. Cry mutinous half araised they, theirs seemed thoughts mates aghast the all moment the fore. Aloft left was sail a not though, braces the two ran instantly crew panic stricken there, Starbuck overhearing. This than voyage better a on go to, homewards it of wind fair a make and, man old may we while, yards the square me let, continued ill, They're not even ill. Isle. It's ill. Where was... Did I get it wrong? Continued ill. Begun ill. Oh no. They're all getting sick. Get the whale back to save them. Voyage ill and 'tis. Forbear, man old thee against his God. God! Armed by Ahab grasped Starbuck. Tongue serpents are like their burned harpoon silent that as. Fire forked, pale of flame levelled, came now their barbed steel keen, the from and. Off dropped to sheath leather loose, the caused had bottom its stove, had that see the butt. Bow whale boats his beyond projected, it that so, crotch conspicuous, its in lashed firmly remained. Fire Perths at forged one the harpoon Ahab's. Man old, boat thy at look, Starbuck cried. Boat the. Thee worship I defyingly, thee with welded be fain would, thee with burn eye, thee with leap eye, sky the lick and up leap, sire my reed eye, agony haughty, with again here, grief unparticipated thy, riddle incommunicable thy hast to thou, immemorial hermit thou, fire foundling thou, oh! It see dimly do eyes scorched my, self flaming thee through, mechanical creativeness thy all, time but is eternity thy all, whom to, spirit clear thou, thee beyond thing unsuffusing, some there is there. Omnipotent thou, I derail myself there because I'm just trying to be too accurate. I'm doing it for you to make sure that you're following, to make sure that you can really make sense of this, because I don't want it to become garbled. Unsuffusing some is there. Omnipotent thou, thyself of not knowest thou which. I did think I was doing quite well there with this dialogue. I thought I was really getting into the act of it, the spirit. By the end of this, I will become Ahab. Will I unbecome Ahab? I am Ahab. Progressively, I will become less of an Ahab. I've lost my place now. Hermit thou, thee through mechanical crew. I read that. Spirit clear thou, thee beyond thing unsuffusing some is there. Oh yeah, that's the bit I got wrong. Omnipotent thou, thyself of not knowest thou which, me of that know I. Unbegin thyself callest hence, beginning thy not knowest certainly. Unbegotten thyself callest hence. Ye came. It's really confusing when they write like the same sentence twice in quick succession without any context. It's really confusing. I hope you know just how hard this is and how much of a hero, really, the hero of the people I am for doing this for you. Hence, callest unbegotten thyself callest hence. Ye came. How not knowest thou? Greater is thine but. Puzzle my lies there. Her with done thou hast what? Cruel, not know I, mother sweet my, father fiery my, but art thou but. Genealogy my in glory do I now, magnanimous thou, flames the burn there, not o'er see, eyes open, cease javelins thee of outleaping, light of outleaping darkness am I but, darkness of outleapest thou. Be thou though light, thee to walk I will yet, blindfold yet. Ground stunning some unrolling and beheaded as seems brain beaten whole my. Ache and ache eyeballs mine, skull my through flashes lightning it take not would I, shutter hands and eyes pour these of homage the take. Ashes be then can I but, consume canst thou, grope then can I but, blind canst thou, links these drop now I do nor, me from wrong it was nor, so not I said, power placeless, speechless thy own eye. Them upon hard pressed hand write his, eyes his closes, rest the with, Ahab, height previous their thrice to lengthwise, excuse me, lengthwise leap flames nine lightning of flashes repeated, sudden. My goodness. Thee to back it breathe I, fire of child true alike, and me madest thou fire of thy of, spirit clear thou oh. Indifferent remains still that herein that theirs, worlds full freighted of navies launchest thou through and power supernal mere as come, highest thy at but. Thee kiss and kneel will I, and love of form lowest thy income. Woe is hate and pain is war, but right royal her feels, and me in live's personality queenly the. Live earthly I while yet, go I wheresoe'er, came I whencesoe'er, best at point but though. Here stands personality impersonal personified the of midst the in, me in mastery unintegral, unconditional its dispute will life earthquake my of gasp last the two but. Power placeless, speechless my own eye, thee fronts now full fearless know, killed are all and, kill but canst thou hate for e'en and. Kind be thou wilt reverence, nor love neither two, defiance is worship right, thy that know now I and, spirit clear thou, thee know now I. Scar the bare eye hour this to that, thee by burns so act sacramental that until worship did once Persian as I seize these on whom, fire clear of spirit clear thou, oh! Flames of Trinity tri-pointed lofty the before erect stood he, arm right high flung and eye upward fixed with and, Parsi that upon foot his put he, hand left his in fast held link last the, turning then. So, fire against blood, it against beat mine let and, pulse this feel fain would, pulse this feel fain would I, there links mainmast those me hand, whale white the to weigh the lights but flame white the, well it mark, it at uplook, Ahab cried. Men, aye! Upcast eyes there all but, deck the two rooted remained others, Herculaneum in skeletons running o'er, stepping o'er, standing the like, attitudes enchanted various in, twig orchard drooping from wasps numbed of not alike, pendulous hung and, together cohered now, glare the by arrested, seamen the of number spar securing engaged, been just had they where, rigging overhanging and arched the from. By near while, him from away bowed head his, but with but, front Ahab's in kneeling was Parsi the, flame the and doubloon the beneath full, mainmast the of base the at. Again Stubb cried, all us on mercy have corpusants the. Pallor there in supernaturalness redoubled, seemed what with beheld were flames tapering high the more once and. See, cried he, upwards glancing, sight into glimmer to beginning slowly face Stubbs of sight caught Starbuck moment at that. Honestly, what a mess. Saw we promise good though that? Candle's spermaceti doesn't count. Does it count? Now we have a problem. When I searched this book, because I'm reading this from an online source, gutenberg.org/files/2701/2701-h/2701-h.htm link to h_epil, if you want to follow along. I just did a quick search to find out how many mentions of sperm there were in this book. I knew there were some mentions of sperm, and as we know, we've seen three already. Three sperm there. But the search would have found false positives if we don't include the word spermaceti, or any other word with sperm in it, like spermicidal or astispermanti. Is that a drink? Doesn't sound very. It sounds a bit unsavoury. Maybe a bit too savoury. Still, I think for the sake of completeness, I'm going to give us. Let's live a little. Let's give ourselves a sperm, because otherwise my number of 271 is invalid, and I don't know how to search for the word sperm in isolation. It's probably something to do with regular expressions. There are people who watch this that would be able to tell me how to do it. Oh, I should be showing you me drawing it. How to draw a sperm, right? This is how we're doing it. If you want to draw your own sperm, here's how I do it. I draw a circle, right? You could draw around a coin or the bottom of a custard tart, but I've free-handed it. There. And then I'm going to draw an eye, which is another circle, but this time we fill it in, right? We fill it in there. Okay. Then we draw this part of the sperm. That has no biological analogue. That's a piece of sperm I've invented. And this part here, called the flagellitis. There we go. 1 sperm added to our sperm count. We're now on 4 sperms. But maybe, you know what we'll do? Is we'll put an asterisk next to this sperm, because he's a spermaceti. He's not a real sperm. Maybe a spermaceti is a real sperm. I thought they were called spermatozoons. That's another word containing the word sperm. Except that's a proper word for them, I believe. Not spermaceti. Spermaceti might have something to do with actual whales, because seti... Isn't seti something to do with whales? Settee? When you're sitting on the settee, it's about the size of a whale. We have a grey settee. Very, very much whale related, I would say. Anyway, yeah, spermaceti. We're going to... spermaceti candles. Ugh. Bit of a stink round the home, I would say. Still, if it's a power cut and you just got to cope however you can. So let's get on with it, because we've only got 23 minutes left, and I would like to finish this book tonight if we can. I'm pretty confident. So we promise good that's candles spermaceti 3 as be yet will masts 3 hour. Yes, tree are in sap like. Masts that into up work will sperm. Ah, there's another one. There's a proper sperm this time. Oh my god, it's a sperm fest. Look what's coming up. It's sperm everywhere. So please, we're going to try another sperm. Here we go. Circle. I'm going to draw a quick one. This one's going the wrong way. This one, he doesn't know where he's going. That egg could be anywhere. Sperm that also and CG. Sperm oil. Sperm oil. I'm running out of space for my sperm. You can probably tell that after 6 episodes into this, I've never been more delighted by anything in my life. The amount of sperm that this episode has thrown up is just incredible. There we go, 6 sperm. I'm going to need a bigger board. Chock-a-block with sperm oil. Oh, Herman. CG, sperm oil with block a chock. Sperm oil with block a chock be to going is that hold at in rooted are masts those 4. Let's get rid of the word sperm there. Those 4. Look good of sign a 4 saw we flame head masthead that take eye. Then me here look too dark to its butt. Starbuck mister ye look and laugher for bowels. Oh, Herman. There is nothing funny about people's bowels. Laugh for bowels. No, they have. Faces long gone mercy have, only they do butts. Oh, this guy's really sad about his bowels, but everyone's laughing. Still will they hope I and all us on mercy have corpuscence. Said I assume corpuscence is a bit, I don't know, maybe a bit like a polyp. Said I, wasn't it? No. Oh, pull yourself together, man. Engage. Song that I haven't talked about Star Trek tonight at all. Song that in same the not was it. I wasn't going to jinx it. I didn't want to jinx it and mention it. But I'm not going to talk about Star Trek tonight because I've only watched 2 episodes since last time. One of them was about some idiots. I mean, actual idiots on a spaceship that didn't know how to fix anything, but then decided to steal Geordie LaForge and get him to make weapons. And then Riker came up with a ruse. What's her name? Troy actually called it a ruse at one point, I believe. Or was it the Doctor? I don't know. One of the characters said, "Is this a ruse, Will Riker?" And he said, "You bet your life it is." I'm paraphrasing. And then he came up with some ruse along with Geordie. He assumed that Geordie would know what to do from some incomprehensible instructions. The thing I can compare it to best, if you remember 321 from the 80s. Was it the 80s, I guess? Maybe late 70s, 80s, with Dusty Bin. Remember the questions on that were incomprehensible. Like there was just a stream of consciousness coming out of that guy. And then the contestants would get a correct answer from it. And it could have meant anything. I mean, it was like he was reading the Great American Novel backwards. It was so incomprehensible. So yeah, Riker said something like, there are 24 photons and the frequency is meandering past a coffee replication unit or something. I don't know. He talked nonsense for like 5 minutes over the comlink, and then Geordie did some plan involving weapons, pretending he had weapons that he didn't or something. I don't know. It was weird. I didn't really get it. I thought maybe it was a bit too clever for me. A lot of things are too clever for me, but I didn't think Star Trek would outfox me within 2 series. Then the other one's the good episode that everyone knows, where the Q man, he does that, clicks his fingers, and whew, they go off across the galaxy to meet the Borg for the first time. And the Borg are like, "Yeah, we could eat you for breakfast." And Picard's like, "Oh, yeah, you know what? You're probably right. We've tried everything. We tried shooting you. We tried running away. We tried beaming Riker over. Even that didn't satisfy you." So he went, "Q, we need you to save us." And Q did that again, and whew, well, that way, whew, back to where they started. But now the Borg are coming. So I guess that episode, series and a half into it, is I guess what you would call the inciting incident for the primary arc of Star Trek. So pretty ponderous series so far, but hopefully now the Borg are coming. You know, they're only maybe 5 series away from it picking up. So I'll stick with it. You know, can't be quite as long-winded and tedious as this. Where was I now? I read something about the load of sperms. Oh yes, no, wasn't it? No. Ah yes, the corpuscence, of course. Song that in same the not was it. Cry thy heard I. Man now thou thinkest what? Stub was it. One some against pushed forward going Starbuck when past 2 or moment Paul enwrapped were decks her on soul every and Pequod the more once and aloft pallidness the with last at waned all tableau the. Body his on flames blue satanic, like burn tattooing queequegs, light preternatural, the by uplit while, corpuscence by tipped been had to they if as gleamed strangely, which teeth shark white his revealed tashtego of mouth parted the. Come had thunder, the which from cloud black the seemed, and stature real his thrice to up loomed. Daggoo! Negro jet gigantic the. Now, I was not going to mention this after it happened the first time, and I've done it again here, and I should mention it. Here we hear this word here, right? Not a pleasant word. I don't want to get into the debate of whether or not books of the past should be censored, changed, modified because of their use of inappropriate language, or at least language that's inappropriate to our sensibilities now, not inappropriate to the sensibilities of the day in which they were written. Given that these words have no context in what I'm doing, I'm going to read them anyway, right? Regardless of what the word is that comes up. For completeness sake, this is a historical document as much as it is a fictional one. It reflects the time, and I think it's valid to include the language of the time, especially robbed of its context, in the manner in which I'm reading it, unreading it. I don't even know, looking at that forwards now, I don't even know that is. It is unpleasant, isn't it? Now I read it. Relieved against the ghostly light, the gigantic jet negro Daggoo. It's not the kind of adjectives that we would see as in any way appropriate now, nor should we. But hopefully we can all accept that for historical accuracy and absent its context, I will read those words anyway. But I'm not going to draw attention to them again. I refer you back to this discussion if you feel the need to, and if you think that's something that should be commented on, then please do get in touch. I by no means want to cause offence by reading those words, but they are words in the book, and the words have no meaning this way round. Perhaps by robbing them of context, the ridiculousness of them becomes even more apparent. I don't know, but hopefully you can accept that in the spirit in which it is. That's the way I'm going to go for now, and I won't mention it again. But I felt last time I did it and I skated over it, I almost made light of it, and later decided that I perhaps shouldn't have made light of it, that I should have mentioned it. And I said to myself, well, if it comes up again, I will at least draw attention to it, make the point that I'm aware that the word is there and that it's not pleasant, but also make the point that I don't necessarily think things of the past should be censored, and particularly without its without affording it its context. I don't know if that makes a difference. Maybe not. I have no strong understanding or opinion of it. I'm just going to read the words as presented. Let's move on. Light ghostly that against relieved, stars of constellation away far alike, phosphorescence pale that in gleaming eyes they're all, forecastle that on stood cluster thick, one in who crew enchanted the from heard were words few, aloft burning was pallidness this while. Cordage that and shrouds that interwoven been has. Upharsin, what? Upharsin tekel many. Has he gone mad? His when ship that on laid been has finger burning gods when oath common I heard I have seldom voyagings my all in but sea seething atu over Tita they most when Topsail yard arms. God, that's a hell of a hyphenation. Topsail yard arms, the from curses imprecate will they. Tempest that of teeth that in and. Calm that of trance that in swear will they. Words household are oaths. Sailors too. All us on mercy have corpuscence the... Cried he. I'm not sure corpuscence does mean polyps. Maybe we should find that out for next time. Maybe you could find that out for next time and let me know. Cried he, tone his shifting immediately, and flames the court eyes uplifted his, deck the on backward slipping, but it blast! Lashing a passing was he as, hand his jammed violently gunwale, it's that so, craft little own his under upheaved sea swashing as, instant this at Stubb cried, go let it, boat the blast! Altar and before tapers wax gigantic three-like, air sulphurous that in burning silently was masts tall three that of each, flames white tapering three with end rod lightning. Hang on, I've read that. I got that wrong. Tapering three with lightning rod end tri-pointed each at touchstand, fire pallid with tipped were yard arms that all. Corpuscence there! Corpuscence there! Starbuck cried. Aloft, look! Sir, be them let. Privileges on out, but secured be may world that all that. Andes and Himalayas. Andes and Himalayas that on rods raised to contribute I'll yet. Side weaker the be we though, here play fair have let's, Ahab cried. Avast! Quick! Aft and fore, over them drop. Overboard they are. Post his to Ahab light to flambeau darting bean just had that lightning livid the by vigilance to admonished suddenly. Crew that to Starbuck cried, rods the! Rods the! Require may occasion as, see the into down thrown or outside chains, the into uphold readily more the be to as so, links slender long in may generally are but. Overboard always not our lightning rods ships out of parts lower the. This all of because. Water that in way vessels, the impeding less or more and, rigging that of some with little are not interfering besides, mishaps many to liable be would it. Their towing constantly kept if, moreover as and, hull the with contact all avoid may end it's that, depth considerable to descend must conduct to this as but. Water that into it conduct to intended is, mast each to carry ships some sea at which rod kindred the so, soil that into fluid perilous that off carry to intended is sure on spire out to rod lightning that as now. Clear? Clear. Fire of lances elbowed by him to plain made path his finding suddenly but pivot hole his to bullocks the a long way his groping Ahab said thunder old there whose overhead rolled peals thunder of volley at instance same that at almost and side his at heard was voicer flashes the following darkness profound of intervals that of in moment that at lightning that with not but there up lightens it see I homeward leeward to but doom of blackness is all windward to yonder home towards us drive will that wind fare into it turn can we us stave to us at hammers now that gale the questioned Stubbs of heedless suddenly Starbuck soliloquized Nantucket to way shortest that is hope good of Cape the round yes wind that in what's ye understand half don't I must thou if away sing and overboard jump now man stove his standpoint his stand to want is he where man stern sheets that in stove that is where sorry that's a question their boat his mark now noon day this to swung he course very there Dick Moby for run to it oh sugar Dick Moby for run to is Ahab course very the eastward the from comes gale the not thou markest. Bow weather the towards hand his pointing and shoulder the by stub seizing Starbuck cried here. Foolish how mind never else nobody anybody than night dark out of better see you can how what own thine of none hast thou if eyes my through look madman. Wind up aphodoxology the ye sing I 1 to 10 done that's when and throat my cut to but world this in singing my stop to weigh no theirs Starbuck mister is it what you tell I and spirits my upkeep to sing I and coward am I man brave was I said never man brave not am I but peace thy hold wilt thou man brave art thou if but rigging our in their harp his strike and sing typhoon the let Starbuck cried. Stub avast. Oh, it's gone off the side of the page. How am I supposed to read that? Look, it's gone. What? Oh, good God, it's a song. Shall we finish on a song? Well, we've only got 4 minutes left in this chapter. Oh, it's not too long. Well, let's finish this chapter. I'm going to... Shall I try and set this to music? Oh, ocean, that is lad, hokey pokey, jokey, jesty, gamey, sporty, funny as such. Flip this of taste in her lips, his smacks only he but ships the splits thunder. Oh, ocean, that is lad, hokey pokey, jokey, jesty, gamey, sporty, funny as such. Spicing the in stirs he when foaming only flip his that's flying or scud the oh ocean that is lad hokey pokey jokey jesty gamey sporty funny as such. Tail his flourishing whale that is joker and gale that is jolly oh. Say song old the so fun in all its mind never but here deck that across just is it meet to have I start the all me for as but spring the comes then and runs it world the round all leaps it before start long great as such has wave Starbuck mister see you it fight can't 1 4 stub way it have will see the but wreck the regarding, Stubb said. Starbuck mister, work bad. Sieve alike through dripping all again it left and stern that at bottom boats that in stove, side teetering high, ships reeling that against up high dashing, sea rolling greater. Escaped not did, Ahab's, boat quarter windward the. Cranes that of top very that who lifted though, naught seemed pains there all but boats that of lashing firmer and hoisting higher that in men the directing were flask and stub while their hamper intricate the befallen have might disaster additional what see too aloft glancing lightning that of flash every at quarter deck that on standing was Starbuck shroud by holding. Sport after its for left had tempest that of fury first, the which rags the with there and here fluttering mass disabled, the showed that lightning the with blazed and thunder the with split and roared sea and sky. On came darkness when ahead directly her struck had which typhoon a fight to left was bare poled and canvas her of torn was Pequod the day that of evening towards. Town sleepy and dazed at upon bomb exploding and like sky cloudless that out from burst sometimes will it. Typhoon the storms all of direst that encounters mariner the seas Japanese resplendent these in that is it too so. Lands northern Thames swept never that tornadoes knows Cuba gorgeous. Alright handsome. Thunder's deadliest the basket, but effulgent most the skies. Verdure ceaseless of groves spiced in crouches, Bengal of tiger the fangs cruelest the nurse, but climbs warmest. Candles the 119 chapter. Hey, 11 o'clock, that'll do. Finished, done. Didn't quite get to the end or the start, but made some good progress. Made excellent progress. Doubled our sperm count for the day. Doubled it. And some great amusement and some terms and conditions from the insurance policy. Excellent. That's what I like to see. I'm sure you enjoyed it too. I'll end here. Click all the buttons below on YouTube, buttons. I don't know where they are on Twitch. I never watch Twitch. I don't even know why I do this on Twitch, really. I'm not interested in the slightest. But there will be buttons. Click them all. And also the down, which way is it? There. Is it there? Where did I put it? This is the mark of a professional. Down there somewhere. There's a Ko-fi link through which you can give me money. If you do give me money through that, I promise you I will give all of that money to the National Video Games Museum, which is threatened by lack of custom, given that people can't leave the house. And people who play video games, we love to leave the house and go to museums normally. And in these trying times, we miss that. We miss the possibility of going to museums, particularly museums about video games. If you donate anything at all, it will make its way there. I will not keep it. I will not spend it on coffee. Though I do like coffee. You can buy me a coffee in person next time I leave the house. Until then, join me again next time for some more of this nonsense. Will it ever end? Who knows? 118 chapters left. If they're all only one paragraph, then, maybe we'll get away with this. Maybe this will finish before the end of the world. But, we'll see. Okay, good night. Have fun. Bye.